All right, we're live. Yay! All right, hey everyone, April Marie here. I'm not going to say beautiful sunny Florida today, um, just because I keep hearing people mimic me and want to be like me, like Elliot. Hint, hint. No, just kidding. Um, Today's training topic, what we were supposed to have last week, but Elliot wasn't able to make it. So he's actually going to go over the brand new funnel, which I've had a lot of questions about. In fact, Michael was having a problem getting his set up. So you're going to want to make sure you grab a pen and paper for tonight. Elliot's going to go through a quick tutorial on how to set up our new lead capture pages. Also, in case you don't know or you missed it in one of the groups, there's a new banner that you guys can use too for your websites that I had professionally done. It's really nice. It's a flashy one, kind of a little bit hypey, but it's definitely attractive. And I've been getting actually more leads since I put it on my blog, so it's pretty cool. So really quick, I'm going to introduce everyone tonight. Tonight is Monday. I can't believe it's already August 11th, and it's a start of a brand new week. I love doing these calls, these mastermind hangouts at the start of Monday, and we're just getting our week started, really, because, I mean, it's a brand new week, fresh new start, and I always love fresh new starts. So Elliot, Madison, Wisconsin, beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, sunny. How you doing?
Beautiful, sunny Madison, Wisconsin.
Sunniness over there. I hear you're having some unusually cooler weather, though.
It is really cool tonight. It dropped off really quick. We were supposed to have a storm, but it's just cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's been stormy here. And we've got Bill Potting. How you doing, Bill?
Good, good. Just got back from Myrtle Beach today.
Oh, did you? How was that? Yeah, you're looking at.
Yeah, I know. I got raccoon eyes.
You got what?
I got raccoon eyes. I was wearing my sunglasses way
Oh,
too
yeah.
much.
I didn't do much of the beach because in May I got so excruciatingly burnt that I just never went back. I just that was enough for the year. It was actually a couple of times, but the last time, yeah, that was enough. We were over in Clearwater, and it was just the sand, and I guess it reflects off the sand, the sun, and it just got me really bad. So
Yeah.
no more blisters for this woman. Uh, and we've got Michael over there in Washington. How you doing, Michael? Or it's Washington, right? Or Massachusetts? I don't think he can talk. Can you hear me okay, Michael? I don't think he can hear. Okay. Well, we're going to get started. Elliot, I'm going to hand it over to you since you already got your screen up.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Let's do it.
All right, awesome. So you can go over the sexy capture page that we have.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of cover a few questions that people have brought up since a couple weeks ago when we launched this new funnel for our team. So we can take a look at. We'll relook at one more time what's available right now, how to set it up, and then some. Actually, just yesterday, I kind of discovered an alternative for people that, because right now this does require you have an AWeber autoresponder account, which is pretty low cost. Was it like $20 or something, April, to start?
Yeah, it's $1, and then it's like for a month you only pay $1, and then it's like $20 a month.
Yeah. So it's real reasonable as far as starting out, and if you're looking to build a list long term, AWeber is definitely the reason we chose AWeber is because a lot of people on our team already had AWeber, and it is one of the most popular autoresponder accounts. So it was fairly easy to integrate for what we want to do. But I figured out a way that people can still use this system without collecting leads if they choose to do it that way, and it'll still be a better experience for sending people directly to sales video, for instance. So again, this is the example of the first lead capture page. Actually, AWeber doesn't like fake stuff. So we'll just opt in. This is going to take us to landing page that's going to start playing one of the presentations. And that's set to autoplay. I'm just going to pause it here. And gives them the button to click for questions and contact information. And so this is actually where, well, I might have to refresh my cookies, but your contact information will actually show up here. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But so basically, they can read through. Some of this is a recap of what they just saw in the video. It tells them a little bit more about our Platinum Partner Program, recommendations on order size, a link for Sizzle countries. That's a question I get a lot as far as getting leads online. People will ask, hey, are you available in Nigeria? It happens. So it's a good place to kind of get some of the questions answered ahead of reaching out and contacting you. Actually, let me try to repopulate this real quick. There we go. So my cookie wasn't set. That's why it wasn't working. So to get a link to any of these pages, the lead page, the video page, or the FAQ page, you can link directly to any of them. Just add !ID equals, and then Elliot in this case is my Sizzle username. So whatever your Sizzle website username is, so username.mysizzle.com, whatever that username is, all you need to do is add it to the URL, and then this link right here is actually you can't see that on there, but if I click through to this, it's going to take me to the correct start page right in Sizzle. So they'll be signed up right directly to you from our team site just by going through that step. So that's what we're looking to set up and have accomplished. April and I are talking about different landing pages and possibly different presentations that'll have options. So we'll work on the funnel stuff as we go. We're just trying to get this kind of initial system up and running the way we want it to be, and make sure everyone is got questions answered, and we're working out the kinks early on here. But the first thing you want to do is sign up with our team site if you're not already in the team site, globaltakeoverteam.com/members. I'm already logged in, but if you weren't logged in, it would ask you to log in or create an account. And to create an account, you just fill out a bunch of information. And what I'm going to do, for those of you that already are in the team site, you're going to log in. The bottom link here is edit your profile. You're going to go there. You've got a couple options on this page. You can edit your information or change your password. So I'm going to edit my information here. And this is the information that it actually asks you during registration. So if you've already filled all this out, you don't need to go in and edit this because you'll have already filled it out when you registered. But since some people registered before this was set up, some of this information wasn't collected. So you want to go in, you want to make sure all your information's right. Now, for things like this FAQ page where it's got your name, phone number, email address, it's going to spit out whatever you have entered in here. Okay, so make sure your name's capitalized properly, and your phone number's the way you want it to display on the page. Your email address is how you want it displayed on the page, etc. And this is obviously one of the most important ones, your Sizzle username, because this is what I use to, when you add your ID equals username in the URL, that's what we're looking for here in order to pull all the other information. So you want to make sure that's set up. And this is going to be the other important one. We're going to grab this bit of information in just a second. So, and you'll notice this isn't required because you don't need to have an AWeber account to use our team site. This is just for funnel purposes if you want to collect email information. So over in Aweber, let me get to the home page here. So you log in. It's going to have a default list here. I renamed this, but you can create a new list if you want. You can create a new list if you've already got Aweber. Maybe you've got some stuff in there. Just create a list for your Sizzle team site leads. Okay, and once you create that list, you're obviously going to give it a name, and immediately that list is going to have an ID when you create it. So in list options, list settings, the unique list ID is what you want to put in here. This is how I know what email list to insert this lead into when they sign up through your capture page. So the list description, this just shows on your unsubscribe page for Aweber. So it can be brief, just so that if someone wants to unsubscribe or not unsubscribe, and they get to the unsubscribe page, they know, oh, that's right, I signed up for that list. It'll have you fill out all your contact information, obviously. You can select to get notifications if you want to be notified every time a lead comes in. In the personalize your list, you want to make sure you have a signature filled out. In the preset emails that you can import, and I'll show you that in a second, you can there's a spot on the bottom where I automatically insert your signature, assuming that you have one here. If you don't have one here, it's going to be empty. So you'll want to make sure this email signature is filled out. Now here's one thing I didn't realize that was going to happen that something to pay attention to is, all right, without confusing anybody, I'm going to go back for a second. Maybe it's too late for that. Actually, it's in messages. So the first thing we're going to try to think of the order to do this in. It really doesn't matter what order you do this in, but I want to show you this because a lot of times people are going to do this first. Under messages for this list, you're going to go into the follow-up series. There's not going to be anything here for you, okay? These are emails. We're going to add to these, and you can always, if you don't edit anything in these emails, when we update them, we'll announce it, and you can re-import this. So here's the important things to remember when you import this. This list ID is over on our team site. Let me show you where this is. We've got a landing pages and funnels menu, and the first section here is how to set up this capture funnel, and that campaign ID is right here. So you're just going to copy that. You're going to use a predefined campaign by entering a campaign code. You're going to load the campaign from right here. So that's going to load all of these messages in. But one thing I didn't realize it was going to do is it also loads in, now let me go back to personalize your list. This is where we've got the signature and everything. It also loads in this global snippet. Why it does this, I don't know. But so what you want to do is you want to make sure you go in here to the global text snippet. You want to edit this and update Elliot, obviously, with your username. Otherwise, your links are going to say Elliot, and we don't want that. Well, you don't want that. Right, April?
Yeah, that's very important because I didn't know that either, and then I went back there for some reason. I don't remember why, but I went and checked it, and it was there, and I was like, oh. But it's not your fault because I noticed, like, MLSP has the same thing. So
yeah. So the original instructions were to create your own snippet. Mm-hmm. But what was happening was it was just looking at the one that was already there. Yeah. So you don't need to create a new one. You just need to edit the one that's there.
Yeah. And the next one, maybe what we'll do is we'll just put your username as the Sizzle username and just have people edit it in there.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, we could, and maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just import this into a generic list, and I mean,
Yeah,
this is the only thing that isn't generic in this list. I just didn't realize this was actually going to import.
Yeah, not a problem.
But so the other thing is, in April, maybe you can tell me where this is. The other question I had come up was how to turn off confirmed opt-in. Do you know how to do?
Yeah, I'll go into confirmed opt-in right there on the right.
Oh.
Yeah, right there. And then scroll down, and then just turn it off. Yours is off.
Yeah, so I know. Well, I know I turned it off. I didn't remember how I got back there, but a couple people had asked me about that.
Yeah,
so,
you want that off for sure. Like I always tell people when they're, especially when they're first getting started, I only have that turned on for like one opt-in form on my blog because spammers were spamming it. Other than that, I mean, I leave that off.
Yeah. Yeah, I rarely use confirmed opt-in. And the main reason for this is, so let me go back to the messages real quick. And these are going to change over time, like I said, but these are based on emails that I get really high response rates from.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very, very simple. This goes out immediately. Normally, Aweber doesn't have a minute or hour timer on there, so it has to go out immediately or the next day. So this one is going to go out immediately. I like to try to delay it if I can, but Aweber just doesn't allow that. So basically, just what's that?
I thought you did delay it somehow. Is that something with another autoresponder?
Yeah, I do it in
Get response?
a couple other systems I use, but with Aweber you can't delay it.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm gonna have to call him.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like the one feature they really don't have yet.
Yeah. I thought they did. I just could never figure out how to do it. I thought I heard that I remember people telling me to delay it with Aweber. I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah, because if you go here, basically it's oh wait. I'll go back in here. Basically what I was going to say is the reason confirmed opt-in doesn't really make a lot of sense here is because what we're doing is trying to follow up with very, short, personal, like, hey, I saw you took a look at the webinar. What did you think? And here's a link to view it again if you didn't get a chance to see it. So actually, I'm going to go to next here. I do have click tracking off on these because it makes because I use text emails for delivery reasons. They get delivered at a higher rate. So I turn clicks off so that the links look prettier. I thought this was going to give me a step for the timing, but maybe not.
Oh, to time it to go out? You're using the new follow-up. I use the old one.
Oh, there's a old editor.
Yeah, I don't like that. I use that to, like, the previous message editor is what I use.
Let me just try something real quick.
I don't know if it will let you do that with the follow-up series, though.
No. I was going to see if it was maybe the first option, but...
Yeah, I'm in there right now. Campaign sharing off. We'll have to message them and see. Because that would be nice. I thought you could do that. I just never could figure out how to do it.
Yeah, because they don't have a... What's weird is I thought for sure they had a place where you can edit the delay. I don't know why it's not obvious. It seems like it should be obvious. Oh, here. Oh, yeah. So the first one doesn't have any options because it's the first one. It has to send immediately. And their only option to send is based on days. So you can do
2 emails in a day?
What?
Like, what if you wanted to send an email 2 hours after?
You can't.
Are you sure?
Well, based on their settings, well, you could send it 0 days maybe. I don't even know if they let you do that. Yeah, they don't like Get Response, for instance, has this is selectable between like hours and days or minutes and days. Now you can do things like only send this email during certain times or send it during their local time. Like if you wanted to go one day after at 7 a.m. their time, you can do that. But for the most part, I don't do anything with that kind of timing on autoresponders because if they opt into something, I'm assuming that's a time that they're usually doing things on the computer because most people fall into patterns. So if they're opting in at 9 o'clock at night because that's their computer time, then they're going to get the next email at 9 o'clock at night. So hopefully they'll see it. But anyway, so you get the idea. That's actually all there is to setting this up. So this training will be recorded, and I know there's some people watching, but this will be recorded and we can update this. I've actually got a video in the back office. We'll update this one. So first, I think I did it a little faster this time, and we learned a couple things since last time. So, but that's basically it. The other thing, that I mentioned before, that if you don't have Aweber, just send them to, sizzle-webinar ID equals your username, and they can watch the presentation, get to the FAQs, and sign up, and your link will work here. So even if you just want to send somebody over to, I talked to a lot of people that I already know or I already have conversations with. I don't need to have them go opt in. So just send them directly to the actual video landing page and do it that way. Totally fine. So again, we'll keep adding different capture pages now that we've got this a little bit more figured out. I know Jeff's been working on additional emails. What we want to do eventually is have this basically be a drip campaign that'll drip over the course of 6 to 12 months, and obviously not every day for 12 months, but every couple days for the first month, and then every couple weeks, and then for the remainder of the year. So we'll keep building that out. It'll become pretty powerful, and again, it's free to use if you're part of the team. All you need is an Aweber account. So I think is there any questions that came up for you, April?
No, I was just actually looking to see if I had any more emails to throw in there, because I have a bunch of broadcasts that we could probably, use too, that I can maybe shorten up,
Yeah.
Make it sound more like manly and womanly at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the trick is if you do edit. Oh, sorry about that. If you do edit the emails, then it breaks the ability to re-import when we update them. So it's I do, when I do import a list from other things, I do like customizing them, but I do realize at the same time I give up that ability to import if they're updated. So it's the other thing you can do is you could always create a new list. Import when we update the emails. So let's say we add 10 emails to it, and you can re-import it to a new list. So you'll have the emails, and you can copy over the ones you want. You could do it that way too. So, but if you want to keep it dead simple, then just leave them as is and re-import as necessary, and you'll be set.
Yeah, and I'll go through and see what I got, because I can just always paste them too, and people can just add them if they want. We could put them. I don't know how. We'll discuss it. We'll get it figured out. But that was awesome. I'm really excited about I know we're going to have more things coming, and people can use them to grow their business, and that's the main thing. And you know, guys, these are, you know, the capture page that we have here is converting, so that's the key here. I know many of you have already taken the initiative, and because I can see the backlinking. If I log into the Sizzle Global Takeover Team website, I can see people are already like writing reviews and backlinking them to our site, you know, with those capture pages. So it's really, really neat to see that people are taking the initiative and really getting the marketing out there for these. So it's awesome.
Yeah, one thing I'll mention too, as far as the webinar goes, if you missed if you missed the morning call this morning, actually, I think, am I done with the screen, April? I think we're good on this, right? So if you missed the morning call, well, first of all, don't miss the morning calls. That's just silly. Or at least listen to the recordings later in the day. But this morning was kind of a culmination of like me, Jeffrey, and April over the last couple months realizing that, so it's Mindset Monday. And, you know, one of my favorite things is, you know, constantly tweaking my thought processes to go further in, you know, not just business but life in general. And we all realized that we were like, you know, we're a little hung up on focusing on certain packages. Like we weren't even talking about, I'm going to speak for myself, because I know April was, but I don't know how often she was. I wasn't really even talking to anyone about why they should be starting with a master pack or a 1,000-point package, you know, a customized 1,000-point package. And it was interesting because as soon as I wrote down the reasons why starting there is so powerful, I was talking to everyone about it, and all of a sudden, all these people started signing up for 1,000-point packages. I was telling April earlier, I was like, I didn't even do anything except realize the value involved, and then people just started coming on as one-star masters, and it's so powerful. So what we've done with the presentation, I'll let Jeff talk about this a little bit too. So what we've changed for tomorrow night, it's small changes, but it's a few slides that show the power of starting. When you're talking to someone, you're inviting them to a webinar. The reason I'm bringing this up is because we're going to, you know, as long as there's no technical glitches tomorrow, we'll get this one up in the funnel as soon as possible, because the way it's been put together in the new webinar is very similar to the way I've been talking to people about the benefits of the 1,000-point start, and it's amazing. It could absolutely, you know, we'll talk about in the webinar this 30 to 60 day plan of a 30 to 90 day plan of essentially making, oh gosh, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but Jeff, it's close with bonuses and stuff. After like 90 days, it's pretty close to 10 grand in your first 90 days. And this, and what's interesting is this doesn't necessarily have to be day 0 in Sizzle. You can actually start this process any time during your journey with Sizzle. And so that's actually really exciting, because not only can you do it once, you can continue this process of this 30 to 90 day process over and over and over again, like every quarter of every year, if you wanted to keep doing it year after year. But it's powerful. So not only should you be on the morning calls, because they've been really, really good the last couple weeks. I mean, we're only like 3 or 4 weeks into it, Jeff, and I mean they just keep getting better. I absolutely love being on those calls. So so definitely get on those. But then tomorrow night's SizzleInternationalRocks.com live webinar. You got to see this new one. It's powerful, and get people on, because they'll be moved. They will be moved to join you. So exciting stuff. Jeff, how's it going?
Elliot,
Sorry.
I'm really, because I talk to you about every day, and I try to calm down, and people can hear my passion in the calls. Bill Potting's like, Jeff, it sounds like you're yelling at us, but he just hears the passion, and it's true, and maybe I was, I went to a military high school where they were pretty strict, and I was a drill sergeant, so maybe I am, yelling, but I'll tell you just off the top of my head, and I'm really close with the numbers here. Um, what people you got to do things people ask you to do. Now, there was no coffee when I came on board, but my very first month I spent more. I purchased more than 1,000 points because I knew, from all these years that the ones that succeeded into the best came out with the top packages. That's just the way it was. And I learned that, in the early 90s. So every time I've joined a company, I've always joined with the top package. I've done a poor job, relaying that because I'm always for the underdog. I really am. I hear people always go, hey, I don't want to go to the gym. I hear two things. I don't want to go to the gym because I'll get too big, which is the most, you got to die laughing because people go in there and they're trying to eat right and do everything right, and they're trying to lift for years and they don't gain an ounce of muscle. So there is some strategy. And so they didn't want to go because they're too big. And then, anyways, other people tell me they don't want to show up because they're not big. So now I got a challenge here, and I'm going to get to the point on this. You don't want to. No one walks into the gym big. My goodness. So here's the challenge. People will say this to me, Jeff. They'll say both ends of it. They'll go, well, if I call them on the phone, they'll go, well, you're not making any money, or you wouldn't be the guy calling. Well, okay, it's kind of the opposite. The man or woman calling does the little bit of extra, they make the money. And they go, oh, man, I would love to come on, I'm like you know what I mean? If I could just have all this money and I would just buy whatever I want, then I would come on for that amount of money. And it's this my gym thing. Either you don't want to get too big, or you're worried about, showing up big. And Elliot, not mention anybody's names, and I won't, but we have a guy that wants to come in big or not at all, right? He wants we're not going to make his name, but he wants 1,000 on this side and 1,000 on that side. He wants everyone to do it, or I'm not going to show it all because I'm not going to be embarrassed.
Yeah, he wants
it's okay. It's
a $5,000 luxury suite party to kick it all off, and
yes, and that's awesome. Everyone. I'll tell you guys, and it will come into play. So when I was building, first I started out building, in network marketing company in the early 90s, and then it got going really well, and I decided that I wanted to have my own office because it was very old school. So I went and bought a couple buildings, a couple commercial buildings, and I built a stage back there, and we'd have 60 to 80 people show up on a weekly basis. Now that's kind of interesting, right? Well, a few years later, the buildings were for sale. I was going to make a really nice profit. They doubled in value. I was going to make a few $100,000. So anyway, someone comes by they went to my presentations and they said to me, well, I didn't know you own these buildings. I thought you were just saying that for like credibility. So they're just like politely. So it's so it's so mind blowing. So I want to point this out because I'm talking in circles here, but it's all going to come together. It's only in the absence of value. You don't show up. You don't go, oh man, the reason I'm doing this is to make money, or I'm unemployed, or I'm this, or I'm that. You're doing it because you can go the fastest. A person who comes on with, if you sponsor someone, if you first come on with 1,000 and you sponsor someone with 1,000 points, or you sponsor someone of 50, that first month, to give you an idea of power, and it's multiplied, but in being literal, it's 20 times more powerful the person you sponsored, because it would take you to sponsor 20 people for 50 to equal the same thing. And Elliot and I, we were really wanted to put this in a presentation to show its true power, and that's why he's going, it could be $10,000, and it certainly could. It could be much more than that, and it could be less than that. We're talking $5,000. And the reason it's so dramatically different for those watching isn't because we're playing games with numbers. It's just that the Sizzle International side and the Cafe side pay both awesome, but very different. In other words, Sizzle International pays 30% on fast starts, and then it pays the up the three sponsors, upline 5, 5, and 5, where Cafe pays 45 and the upline sponsor 5. They both have short-term and long-term goals, and they're powerful. And this is hard to get across to people too. I try to explain them. People do what you do, and many of you have experienced that. And if you haven't, you will. They're going to say, "Hey, I want to join. This is really exciting." But where did you come in at? And you know, just to set an example, we've all decided, Elliot, myself, April, and other leaders of the team, we decided to do this right along with you every 90 days, and they're you know, we're doing it right now. So, anyways, it's, you know, it's interesting, but I also, Elliot, it's hard because you care about people, and this is a teaching and mentoring business. So I don't want someone to come in with a $5,000 party and $1,000 on each side, or not at all. If someone has to come on with 50 points on each side so they can collect fast start bonus on each side, you know, we'll work on the minds and, you know, all this type of thing. It's fantastic. But I also want the truth out there that if you have some skin in the game, you know, there's two people donating to that breakfast. There's the chicken, right? And they're delivering those eggs, and then there's the pig who's delivering, is a little more committed. If you think about what the pig's committing with the bacon and how they commit that, and what the chicken's committing. So it's the same thing, kind of. We're not asking you to lose a, you know, piece of yourself, but at the same time, you know, I'll say money's like manure. You got to spread it around to get it to grow. And here's what I mean by that. You come in with a $1,000 pack, and people come over to your home and they see Sizzle products in your home. They see you using Sizzle, you know, Cafe and all these products. And also, you have, I wanted to talk about this so bad, Elliot, this morning, but we ran out of time. I wanted to talk about having an appropriate order so people had samples. Now, you're not going to give out $50 tubs of Sizzling, Bill Potting, even though I know you love that product. You're not going to do that. But you know what? You are going to give out Cafe if you want to grow. People got to try the coffee. Let's see if I'm on camera right here. I love this. 4 bags a month. It's just like rocket fuel. This is a brand new bag ready to go. This, even if you don't want to lose weight, is like rocket fuel too. If you don't drink coffee, you don't want to be productive, you want to speak like me right now, you want to type a little faster, because I took this a couple hours ago. This is awesome. This is awesome. Hey, there's some, anyways, you want to build it. So why does it work out like that? I can't wait for you guys to watch the presentation, the slides we built. I want to leave some anticipation, but you're going to see that you could, you know, Elliot, I'm going to say it like this. You can honestly join for 1,000, and by join, I mean you can join now even if you're already in, and then you can assist 3 people who assist 3 people, and that's just your first month. And it's happening right now for several people on the team that we've rolled this out early to, and you know, now it's just going to be a normal you know, fact here. We'll have the Sizzle Global Takeover team will be the fastest, but second month is just crazy, and that's why literally I'm just saying, I said, Elliot, okay, 30 to 90 days, there are going to be people collecting, you know, these types of bonuses, and not boasting or bragging. I've been here for a while, but I'm implementing these strategies right now, and I'm on track right now. There's 20 days left to collect a $15,000 bonus at the end of this month. They'll pay out about the 12th, 13th the next month. Isn't that crazy? And it's not just me. I don't judge a leader by that. There's several people here, because if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't, you know, you got to rise people up as a leader, or you even want people to pass you. There's several other people collecting, you know, of $500 and $5,000 checks by the end of this month right here, because of what we're implementing. Elliot, I'm kind of I'm so passionate about this, but I've got to let some other people get some words in. And I mean, you know, I'd love to hear from, you know, April, yourself, and anybody else if they have their mic working. Yeah, they got to see tomorrow.
One too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things. I don't know. You know, I love the strategy stuff. I love kind of figuring out what works, and then, you know, being able to share that. And I think, you know, we're lucky to be in a spot where we can, you know, we have these systems kind of set up. We've got our team morning calls. We've got, you know, the Monday Hangouts, the Facebook group, and we've got all these communication methods that, if someone doesn't know what to do, so anyone brings anyone onto the team, they don't need to answer all their questions for them. They just say, here's our training schedule. You know, get on the calls, ask questions, you know, and obviously, yes, you know, you have a question, post it in the Facebook group, give me a call, give Jeff, whatever you need to do. Call somebody if you need help, call. But for the most part, the things that we do as a team to get people to really be able to grow quickly in their business is awesome, and it's fun just continuing to evolve that, and so it's been fun to be a part of.
You know, Elliot, I want to add this, and because I've just been, you know, I'm joking around about the Thermaline, but I'm not. This has made me so productive. Only about half of them are good right now, and it depends on your personality, and that's why I don't want to load these in. But right now I'm at 44, you know, letters, and I mean I've been telling April I've been working on that, and maybe you, but I'm at 44 letters, and some of they range from very passive to the very aggressive and everywhere in between. But they're very good, and you know, I'm maybe you guys can help me, but there's a way I'd like to put those letters back there that if you really like them and they suit your personality, not put them into the autoresponder, because someone will be like, oh my gosh, this is what I just told someone on my list, which is very comfortable for me. Obviously I wrote it and it's my personality and it will work. But it might not work with your list in the way you brought them on board. But I'd like to have people have access to them so they can go, hey, I like this one, I like this one, and kind of swipe and copy and add it to what we already have going back there. You know, so it's really
that can work, and at the same time, I think well, and this is nothing against Jeff. Jeff and I have very different writing personalities.
Yeah.
But you know, I think there's ways that we can make the letters, get them into the import list in a toned down fashion that will work for most people. But at the same time, I mean, there's stuff, the way Jeff says a lot of things, a lot of times you don't want to mess with it just because it works really well the way it's said. Even if it's not necessarily the way you would word something, maybe I have to keep reminding myself that, when I started in Sizzle, I had no idea what to say or what to do, so I just repeated everything I heard Jeff say on the webinars. I was literally just repeating everything that I heard. I wasn't sure, what some of it meant. I just knew that was the answer to the question that they might have asked, or, here's the quick story about Sizzle. I was able to just go through and repeat what was said, and it worked because, and there's a reason for that. So. Actually, Jeff and I were talking about this the other day, was that when people feel like they don't know what to say to someone, or they feel like they're not coming from a position of authority, to just do what one of the leaders does. Just say it, word for word, how you hear it on every webinar, every Tuesday and Saturday, every morning call. Just say it like that, because it actually works, But obviously you got to be on you got to tune in. So,
Elliot, I love what you're saying, and I've given people, I try to, I use a lot of real estate analogies, a lot of weightlifting analogies, and goal setting. And it really is true. I mean, some of the stuff I can't believe when I was trained in real estate early on, worked so well. But anyways, they told me to go in there, and this is, my very first listing, but I used it years and years later. They would tell me to say things that most people just wouldn't, say. But, when realtors back then were, the average was like $22,000 a year, and I was well over $150,000 a year for years and years, even in the bad times. And it's because things would come out of my mouth that I couldn't even believe it. That, I'm not going to say what company, but they trained me really hard for 2 weeks, 8 hours a day, and they said, you'll remember these things. So someone said to me, I'm sitting there and they're going, well, you want 6% to list our house. And, we could get someone for 5%. And right then and there, because what triggered in my mind because of the training, and that's where I would love, all of our team as time goes on, I said, hey, if you go get your phone book, I'll get you someone to list it for 3 or 4%. But if they don't sell your house, you're not gonna save a dime, are you? And anyways, that's hard. That's hard for someone to say. And believe me, my own jaw dropped, not physically, but in my mind, I'm like, I can't believe I said that. And I said, and then I said the next thing they told me to say, what you're looking for is an aggressive person that's going to sell your house. Not some wimpy person that they're never going to sell it or show it or anything. Now, you guys got to realize this is my very first appointment ever. And they said, well, it was like a Saturday morning. They said, we're going to decide Monday evening. By the time I drove home, which is 20 minutes away, I walked in my home and my phone was ringing. And here's what they said. They said, hey, Jeff, we made a decision early and we decided that we want someone aggressive like you to sell our home. So that's the whole thing. Sometimes I'm pretty passionate and kind of tough, but I will tell you, the things that we're putting in letters are on purpose. And a lot of the reasons that we used, portions of Elliot's stuff and my stuff and April's stuff is because they've already been proven to work. And, our success is your success. So the better you do, the better we do. So, you could change it like April might end hers loving kisses into your prosperity. I see that. I can't do that. I mean, I could do that, but it's just not going to work. So, anyways.
Hugs and kisses.
Hugs and kisses. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute,
Yeah, April can get away with that.
Yeah, and not only should he get away with it, it works very well for her, and she sincerely means it, and that's the whole important. That's all important. I encourage you. Elliot laughs when I do this. He goes, because Elliot reads a lot too. He goes, I know where you got that. You didn't think that up, Jeff, because I'm constantly reading stuff like this. Seriously, all the brochures, they're all around my desk. I read them. Because I can't think of anything. You guys are thinking of a domain name?
What is that one?
This is just something that I just get. And I'm like, this is something that came with my order,
That must be a new one. I haven't seen any print with the Thermaline on it yet.
It's exciting. I mean, Tom must like me. I think he only sends these to me. But I'm glad. I like making people laugh, too. But you know what? Down here it says feel the heat.
Where'd April go, by the way?
April. I can't say. But anyways, feel the heat, satisfy your weight loss, Thermogenic Cafe. So everyone's like, what's a domain name? What should I put it? How about feeltheheat.com? I'm not saying it's available, but man, with this in a letter and that. Oh, and Elliot knows. Here's where we're a lot different too. I'm just going to tell you, I'm heavy with graphics. And if Bill's listening, and I'll say this. Bill will go, hey, Jeff, this is months ago because Bill is very advanced now, and he does awesome and a lot of content. But he used to call me up, and we're going months back. He goes, Jeff, I want to put all these graphics in like you do. It doesn't necessarily work. I just like putting, I'll say, pretty pictures in my stuff. Sometimes I'll put them at the top, bottom, and professionals that are SEO professionals like Elliot, he'll just cringe. And I'll go, Bill, copy most of what I do, but some of it not so good, So anyways, but it's fun stuff.
I just for emails I like to keep them simple.
And you should. And it's very effective. Maybe I've learned to add those, you get more risky, right? You get more risky, 9 or 10 emails later. But I believe that with what we have going, we can get sincere, more than sincere interest. I mean, Elliot, you found out within 2 or 3 and some follow-up phone calls that we can get them to join, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can get them to join with 2 or 3, and that's what I was doing. I mean, really, the last part of last week and all this, man, I've been on the phone so much, and that's how I learned too. I get a feel of where they like the letters or this or that, and it's amazing what people will tell you. But you have to communicate with them and you ask them. And it's so funny, like I'm calling some leads for some other people, and I'm not going to name their names because they could be watching now or watching later. But I'm calling leads for other people. I mean, like let's say I was calling some leads for Elliot, because this is not what happened. I just got to use the name. So I'll be like, instead of me, I'm putting it off on Elliot. So when should I tell Elliot that you'll be joining? So I can get back to him. You know, because I am when some people are at their at their job. When I can, I do my best to, I want to help people get their bonuses. I want to help move forward. I haven't said this, and then I'm going to give it to April, Elliot, whoever, but this is really important. I want you guys to know that a lot of people say, hey, this is my last network marketing company. If you've been around for a year or longer, you hear people say that. I want you to know, and people watching don't know me, I've only been in a handful of companies in over 2 decades. Really, a handful. And a lot of them I never wanted to leave. Either paychecks bounced, they completely went out of business in my early years. And it's really important. This is my final masterpiece, but that's not my point. This is my home. This is my point. I'm hearing this cross line. I've heard it before, like once a year in other companies, that I'm staying here, I'm building this. Little they know if they're in a binary, they're not. Because it won't be there. But here's the thing: if they're in a health and wellness company and it's been around for 5 years and it's a unilevel, they have a really good shot. But I'm hearing it cross lines throughout Sizzle that this is their home. You know what I mean? They're not going anyplace. I'm hearing it over and over, and I think it's really powerful. Why are you smirking, Elliot? What's so funny?
I'm multitasking. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'm not going to worry about it. But I always put Bill on the spot. I'll give him I hope he's got his mic. I hope he'll. Bill, I just want to hear what's on your mind, because I'm worried about someone who's, hand-to-hand combat, armed. I have a quiet kid at my dinner table. He's only 8, but once in a while I just go, "What are you thinking?" Because I'm just worried about the quiet people. So, Bill, what's on your mind?
Well, I was listening to the Connect call, and I really, really, really want to find out what Tom Mauer's waffles taste like. Did you? Apparently, he cooks them for everybody. So.
He does. Bill, it's so funny. He really, really does. I mean, and I'll tell you what. He had an event at his home about a year ago, and he flew everyone in from Japan and all that. He was making pancakes, and he was kind of upset because they wanted leftover pizza from yesterday's lunch at breakfast and not his waffles and pancakes and all that. So he was like, I can't believe it. I'm cooking all this fresh food, and he's there with the spatula and doing everything out on that giant deck, and everyone's eating leftover pizza. Well, I don't know if this is true, but I was told that generally foreigners who have never seen pizza, not the taste of it or anything, when they see us eat it, it looks disgusting. It's like gooey, just melted together stuff. So anyways, apparently not true if you're from Japan. It looks pretty cool and tasty. So so that's what's on your mind, Bill. You're putting out an awful lot of content. I see it all the time.
Yeah, I got the new banner that April put out on our Skype site. So I put that on my blog. That thing's pretty sweet.
That's sharp, and she with the designers and everything, she went back and forth, and she worked for a lot of weeks, on that. She's really good at that, because when the designs first come back, I'm not good at that stuff. So I'm like, that's the coolest banner I ever saw. Yeah. And April will be like, that's horrible. That is not gonna fly. And then it will come back, and I'll be like, yeah, that is a little better. That's the coolest one I ever saw. This will go on for weeks before it gets to what you're seeing. So I'll just say thank God for April and making sure that it's right, Just gotta love it.
I'm gonna show my screen.
Okay.
For a second. Okay. You guys see my screen?
Yep.
My screen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
There's the new banner right there, guys. This is the new one. And Elliot, I'm not sure. Did you put this on the team website yet?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, so we need to put that in there so they can download it.
Well, yeah, I think we need like a banners and links page first. I don't think we've got something like that.
Oh.
Well, maybe we do.
Well, no, just make it so that all you guys do is just right-click on it. You could actually put it on our team website to go to something, whatever.
Well, yeah, but I'd rather have. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'd rather have it in the back office, though.
Elliot wants it to be extremely professional, and April, as horrible as it is.
Elliot, how do you get it so that people can't steal it? Can you do that?
Yeah, someone's already taken it, and so that's pretty interesting. You know, it just
Yeah.
is.
It's unfortunate, but there's not a great way to be able to do that because it's an image. Anyone can grab that image. We can prevent hot linking, but that's not typically what people will do. So what I would actually recommend, there's not a great place to do this for this banner, but normally what I would recommend is leave a spot for people to overlay like their website or something like that on it, so that it at least makes it more difficult for people. They'd have to like edit it first and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
like their own little website
yeah,
somewhere.
like a little you know,
Put it
overlay
right here.
watermark kind of thing.
Yeah. We could probably put it right here, Global Takeover Team. No, we'd put their website. You guys could, if you pulled this up, well, then you wouldn't get the flashy banner anymore. I guess you can't do that.
You know, you can let people. You know, when people advertise that same one, it just gets your brand out. I mean, McDonald's advertises to make you feel good about where you're eating, not necessarily to get new business. I mean, little babies' eyes light up before they can speak McDonald's when they pass one.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
anyways,
it's cheap. I can't stand it when people steal like stuff like that, but oh well. They're gonna do what they're gonna do anyways. It's cool, and it's exclusive for our team, so we're gonna put it back there. Hopefully.
just put in if you see your banner out there and it's not for you, just put in youstolемybanner.com as your email address.
Okay. Yeah. So Elliot, put it back there when you can, and you guys can download it. I mean, I put it in the Facebook groups. You can download it from there. So if you go underneath, I don't think it's in the Files tab actually. I think I just posted it in there. Let's see. I'll add it into the Files tab so you can find it. Oh, no, it's there. It's right there. So it's right here at the top. It's Sizzle AD animated. What I could do, though, is edit that.
Bill, real quick, which banner fit yours? Did you use the 250 or the 300 on your own site? Do you remember? Oh, you got your mic on. You're muted. You got to go to the top and unmute. There you go.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I used the 300. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's on mine right now because I put it on about an hour ago, and now it's working fine.
And Bill's already got 100 leads and 20 signups.
20 in 1 hour. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
You guys aren't sure how to install it though. What I do is I just go create a post and add it as a media file, and then just grab the text. So like if you're gonna go, let's say for example, you go and you create a post really quick, and you can just add it as a media file. Oh, I'm logged out.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if Bill knows how to do that. Just so you guys know though, that's the easy way to do it.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
Yeah, so you just go add as a media file. Actually, my stuff should be showing up. I don't know why it's not. Oh, it's just taking a long time. Something's been running slow tonight. If this runs slow like this, oh, there it goes. Okay, so you just add it as a media file, just for those of you that don't know how. And then link it to your Global Takeover Team website. So let's see, mine is C Sizzle, April Marie Tucker, and then just click Select All, and then you can put it right in here. And we're gonna have a more congruent lead capture page. We'll let you know as soon as that comes out. You just click on Insert into Post. Actually, let me go back really quick because I always do this too. I always make sure that I have it open up in a new link. So I always have it open up in a new tab. So always make sure that you have that, because you don't want people to really necessarily go off your site just because it will hurt your rankings. You want them to have it open. So then you just go over here and you can copy it and then go over to your widgets, which mine might look different than yours depending on your theme. You're going to save it. There's no need to save it unless you want to save it in case you mess it up or something. But actually, I'll just that there, and then you just go ahead and click text. So drag over a text box wherever. I have a lot of them, so I'm just gonna put it here in the bottom, and then literally just paste it right in there. And it's already centered. Just make sure when you do the image that it's already centered, and you won't have a problem with that. And you could say, you know, what did I say? I'm like, what did I say? Really easy. World's only daily compensation plan of its kind. I mean, something just to catch their attention. That's all you really need. And then I just put that up in there, and you're good to go. And then once you do that, you click Save, and that will give you a nice fancy banner that you can link your new capture page system up to and start generating leads with on your blog. It's as easy as that.
Hey, Bill, just an idea for you. You know, I was looking at yours. It looks super sharp up there. I love it. You're going. I'm working part-time on my fortune, and that's really good. But people are gonna, you know, you want them to identify with you. You might want to put something to the effect of how to build your fortune part-time, something like that, where you have it above that banner.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, and I was like, yeah, that it sounded better before I put it on there. And it looks
Yeah,
nice.
you know, I like it though because you got Mr. Roan in there, and a lot of people resonate with that. So, anyways, yeah, just talk about them. But you know this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we've talked about it before. I go over my blog and I see hundreds of things that can be approved, and I'm like, oh, I'll do that in just a minute, you know, and then days go by. So, but anyways, yeah, I just noticed that you could say, you know, how to build your fortune part-time, and boy, if they click on that link and fill that out, it's certainly going to give those answers.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we've been an hour, so I'm ready to close it out for tonight. It was a jam-packed training. Of course, we're going to always be providing more ways for you to use those lead capture pages to market online. Any final thoughts, guys, before we close out?
Morning call tomorrow. Testimonial Tuesday.
Yeah, and I know you said at the beginning, but reminder, go to sizzleinternationalrocks.com. You're going to want to see, you know, the presentation, you know, tomorrow night. You're going to really want to get on there and see that because even though it's powerful, and you can register for the next 2 or 3, you know, by going to that site. So
yeah, definitely register ahead for the webinars, and you know, just stay in touch with the Facebook page so you can get the you know, Jeff posts the call information in there every morning, and obviously all the webinars and stuff too. So
absolutely, yeah, you know, great training, everyone. It was jam-packed, top of the hour, and you know, really exciting. So, anyways, let's just move forward. And you know, I heard this from a billionaire. He said, "All you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough," and that's the truth. All you can do is enough to build big.
good ending thoughts, Jeff. All right, we'll see everybody or hear everybody on the call in the morning.
Yep, we'll see everybody tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. Make sure you plug into that call. All right, thanks, everyone. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. See you guys next Monday. Bye for now.
All right. Bye. Thanks.
Have a good night, everybody.